At 23, most people are still figuring out who they want to be. For me, I think I found my answer in the most unexpected way, through a girl from Japan, a camera, and a dream that keeps pulling me back there. I got married and am moving to Japan. I know, it sounds crazy, but for me, this honestly feels like the right decision to make. I thought it'd be nice to share with you guys kind of the process and the things I've learned over the past 3 years of being in a long distance relationship, and also getting married at 23 and kind of starting a new life somewhere else and how all that works and fits together. Let's dive in. In 2022, what was supposed to be a fun trip with my best friend turned into something much more impactful for my life. After some time spent in Japan, I decided to message a girl I saw on this language exchange app I was using for studying Japanese. I remember sitting and staring at my phone and thinking, this girl's beautiful. There's no way she's going to reply to me. And even if she does, I'll probably be long gone from Tokyo, since I only have 2 weeks left at that time, so I was pretty doubtful. When she first replied, I remember staring at my phone for way too long before responding. I didn't want to mess it up, but something in me knew I had to take the chance. What started as a few days of hanging out in Japan turned into 6 months of late night calls and time zone differences that tested our patience. And I knew meeting her for the first time. I seen her coming out of the exit station at Asakusa, and I saw the long brown coat, short little Japanese woman. I was just thinking to myself, man, I hit the jackpot on this one. And I think from the very beginning of that, after hanging out for a few hours and getting to know each other even just a slight bit, I think that was the first time that I was like, okay, maybe love at first sight is a real thing. And I just pretty much knew that she was gonna be my wife from that first day. I know it does sound pretty crazy. I just didn't know that was possible until I met my now wife. We love to share our story online, but most people only see the highlight reel. But it's been years of distance, sacrifice, and trust. It's strange. You can dream about something for years, but when it finally comes real, it doesn't feel how you expect. It's not excitement at first. It's fear. But underneath that fear, there's something stronger. The feeling that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. From the very beginning of our relationship, I knew that one of us was gonna have to move from country to country. And at first I was thinking, oh, well, she'll just come to the US, I can continue working. She wants to come to the US because she's always been in Japan, she's never really traveled. And that's when I kind of looked at myself in the mirror and was like, wait a minute, you've been dreaming of going to Japan and living there for the past 4 to 5 years. And now you have the prime opportunity to make that happen, and I was considering staying in the US. Yeah, I know, pretty stupid. I think I was more worrying about finances, pretty much finances, because I was worried about not being able to get a good enough job in Japan to support my now new wife. So I figured that I'd stay in the US and be comfortable. And I think that was when I realized that that was a mistake, because if I lived in this comfortability, I don't think I would have respected myself for the decision to stay somewhere that I don't really want to stay only because of finances. Because yes, while money is important, super important for most people, money can always be made. Moving somewhere so far away from your hometown, which I believe it's 6,400 miles away from where I am right now, it just doesn't really hit you, I guess, until the day comes. Because right now, I still feel comfortable. I'm still deciding on what I want to do in Japan and how I'm gonna turn content creation into something I can make money from. My back isn't against the wall yet, which I kind of wish it was, because that'd probably put more pressure on me to work even harder before I end up going to Japan. For the past 5 years, I've had the dream of living in Japan ever since I watched my first anime episode and stumbled upon my first Chris Broad video on YouTube. I just knew that one day I had to try living there. I remember being so close to pulling the trigger on language school, far before I met my wife Fiona. But now that I have a much easier way to get into the country, I'm going to take full advantage of it. It wasn't exactly an easy choice. Leaving behind what's familiar never is. I think the part of growing up is realizing that home isn't one place anymore. It's wherever you decide to build your future. Because right now I could call this my home. But when I move with my wife and we live in Japan together and we create a family, my new home will be with my family that I created. And recently, I've been trying to be more optimistic about things. And as someone who is trying to become a creator, being able to create content in Japan about my life, Japanese culture, and traveling is honestly a dream come true. There are days I question if I'm doing the right thing, if chasing creativity in another country is realistic, but then I remember, every person I admire took a risk that made no sense at the time. So maybe that's how it's supposed to feel before it works. I'd be a complete liar if I said that I wasn't scared to move to Japan. Scared of failing, scared of not being able to make friends and feel the loneliness epidemic that everyone talks about when they move to Japan. But every time I think about why I'm doing this, it kind of just all seems to make sense to me. I think there comes a time in everyone's life where they sit and ask, what is the purpose of all this? And recently, I've been asking myself that question. And I've realized that everything worth doing in life comes with a risk, whether it's financial, health, relationships, or something else. So if I'm going to do something, then I might as well go all in. Creating content and learning photography, videography, storytelling, editing, and more has truly transformed the way I view my life. The more I start to create videos and content like this, the more it becomes about expression and not the numbers that I'm getting on my videos. And after visiting Japan 3 times and staying there for collectively, I think 3 months now, Japan is a place that gives me that freedom to express myself. And it is weird saying that coming from me in America, because in Japan they have this concept that the nail that sticks out too much gets hammered down. And what that means is you don't want to stand out in Japan. But I think foreigners coming from the mindset that Americans have of wanting to stand out and expressing yourself and being creative and having your own opinions and decisions, it's almost like a superpower going to Japan. And if I'm gonna have an advantage when I go to Japan, then obviously I'm going to use it. If you're watching this video now, then you've probably realized that one of my goals in Japan is to become a content creator. I've been thinking a lot why that is. And some people will say it's because of the money, which true, that you can make a lot of money if you play your cards right. But having the freedom to express my own creativity is 100% the reason why I want to be a creator in Japan. Because first of all, I love Japan and Japanese culture. I love expressing my thoughts and things I learn to other people who resonate with what I say. And I also just love creating content and cameras and filming. I get to bundle everything together in one place. So my creative bubble is just exploding. And I get to do everything that I've ever wanted to do for the past few years now. Getting married young isn't about rushing life. It's about growing together. And moving to Japan isn't about escaping. It's about building something new. If you told me a few years ago that I'd be getting married at 23, I probably would have laughed it off, especially since I had no plans to settle down a few years ago. I knew that I wanted a relationship because I like having somebody other than close family and friends that you can have deep conversations with and really connect with. So I knew that I wanted a long-term relationship and a connection to build, but I never thought it would lead to marriage so soon. But I realized that finding someone who you truly care about and who cares about you is such a cheat code. When I first heard this quote by Alex Hormozi, it hit me hard. He said, if you find a girl who believes in your dreams more than you do, who makes you want to be a better man, who's willing to work alongside you to get there, and is grateful for whatever you have, just marry her. Because that's exactly what I found with Hyuna. Someone who believes in the dream even when it's a difficult challenge. It makes it not so scary to chase my dreams of moving to Japan and becoming a content creator. Moving to Japan isn't the end goal either. It's just the beginning. The next chapter of growing together, learning more about myself, and seeing where creativity takes us. If you've ever thought about starting your next chapter and making that move that you've been wanting to make for so long, have this be your sign to do it. They say fortune favors the bold. So get out there and do something you've always dreamed of doing. And I'm sure you can accomplish it. As long as you put 100% of your effort into that thing, I believe that anything is possible for anyone. Because nowadays people aren't putting that dedication and time into certain things. So if you're that select few who do, I do believe that we will rise to the top. It's just gonna take a lot longer than we wanted to. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching. And I would love if you would join me on this journey as I move to Japan and share my life and things that I learned along the way. Thank you. A new chapter begins, Japan 2026. I hope to see you there.